Hey there, Lurkers. What do you think about getting messy in Miami? Reddit going dark mode? An Xbox showcase? Starfield?
This sounds like my future days off. So let's lurk!
Scott, I just want to start. This is not for the Lurkers. Lurkers, tune out for 30 seconds.
Shh, just quiet.
This is for you.
Only dreams now. Okay.
Do you remember Bradley Cooper in The Hangover?
Vaguely.
I fucked up, man. I fucked up. I've already kind of told you this, but I'm looking down at you and up at the Lurkers. You know what? My technology is put together. I feel like a mess. This must be what normal people feel like all the time. I don't like it.
I feel like I am your crotch right now. And I'm just like, hey, buddy. You could.
Is it warm down there?
It's a little warm. And you could definitely use a shave from my angle.
I plead the fifth.
Also, Bandit's probably going to crawl all over me this episode, and I don't know how to feel about that.
He's already licking my nudes, man.
Well, speaking of things that are messy, I have a confession. I'm never giving you first pick ever again. If I win the game. Because I know exactly why I lost.
Why?
Your golden retriever pick. Everybody loves goldies. Number one dog in the world. And apparently somebody literally posted, like, you had me until Jack Russell Terrier. I lost more votes than you actually got votes, I believe. Everybody on the socials made a specific comment to, like, Scott, this is why you lost. Just I'm like, thanks for the feedback, everybody. But
hey, you guys are dicks, and you know what? I love it. Go, just hit us hard, exactly where it counts. Because honestly, that one was my jam. But whoever said Jack Russell Terrier is where you got lost, they're an asshole. Because all dogs are good dogs.
That's right.
Except Chihuahuas. Fuck Chihuahuas.
Okay,
those aren't dogs. They're rats with long legs.
Like dachshunds?
What?
Dachshunds? Dachshund?
Dachshunds?
Dachshunds?
I'm not German. Listen, man, I don't go that way.
It's a wiener.
Oh, okay. Speaking of dicks, because the internet, as we will discuss shortly,
oh god,
is being a real dick all over the place. My game for this week's version of Subjective. Maybe the last time ever we get to pick our top subreddits.
Oh no. This is going to change the editing process for Willie a lot. So
you've had 12 years to figure this out, Scott. You don't need to go search. I'm not going to search. I'm not cheating.
Okay.
You're cheating. I can see those eyes.
Oh, totally, I'm cheating. Yeah, I will admit it. I'm down 2-1. I got to do something to win.
Oh, shit. Well, this is how the game's going to go. Everybody picks our top 5. Who has the best team of this week's Subjective? Scott, you're the loser. Go first.
With my first pick, I am going to pick picks. r/picks. Number 1.
All right. I am going to go with, for my number 1 pick, r/funny.
Okay. Then I'm going to follow up with, for my second pick, r/interesting as fuck.
Oh, I love this. r/Apollo app.
Oh my gosh. Remember, this is not based on like the old game that we used to play. No. This is all subjective. With my third pick, I am taking somebody who's a blast from the past. I'm gonna go with r/old school cool.
All right, keeping with the cool, r/cool guides.
Okay, all right. Well, this one made it to the fourth pick of my team. I can't believe we're here, so I'm gonna go r/memes.
All right, my number 4 pick, r/anti-work.
There is only one. There is only one. For number 5, and I already know the answer to this, but I'm going with r/am I the asshole?
Oh, Scott. So close, but yet so far.
Was that number 4?
And for the win,
Oh, number 5.
number 5, r/NSFW_gifts.
God dang it.
I will see you in number 2, with you in number 2, buddy.
Oh boy. Well, that last pick is certainly going to make a splash.
It's a hard one to lose.
Okay. All right, you know what you have to do. Go to our socials. It's usually day 1 or day 2 of the show going up. Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. You will be able to find and vote for Subjective.
Vote.
Thank you very much. We love you all. Now, Reddit, we mentioned this last week, just took a big old Husker Du on top of all of its lurkers, all of its mods, all of its users, and said, you know what? No more third-party clients. Bringing it all in-house.
No, you can run a third-party client. The problem is, hey, if you're going to do that, you need to pay us more than it costs us to run that client.
Right, so basically no more third-party clients. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. How does this make you feel?
Furious. I think since day 1 of Reddit has always had this like weird, obscure way of viewing its website, and I think it's turned a lot of people off. Like, if you weren't the first days of AOL Instant Messenger or MySpace and you went to those sites, you were like, this is gross. I don't really understand this. And Reddit had that same kind of like archaic blogger chat space to it. So when people first started going there, it was an acquired taste, which I think turned a lot of people off. And
so included.
Yeah. Then these gorgeous apps like Apollo came out and said, we believe that this experience can be so much better. This is what we're coming out with. There was an app called Alien Blue that was in competition with Apollo.
Yeah.
And then Reddit, I don't know if you know this, Scott, but Reddit bought Alien Blue and converted it into their Reddit app, and it was so much worse somehow.
That makes sense. That tracks.
And so I'm left feeling like coming up in a few short days, I'm done with Reddit. At the end of June, I will no longer be visiting this site.
Can you think of another site that you've quit very, I guess in the same vein of what Reddit has meant to you? Like, was it Facebook? Was it MySpace? I mean, when's the last time you quit a website?
I think I had a falling out with Facebook. Like, I just got bored. I didn't care. There wasn't anything interesting. But when have I ever made like a call to say, I'm just done? Like, you haven't engaged me as a viewer, a listener, an audience. Never. I don't think there's sorry, Bud Light, I'll still drink you. I have no problems. Like, I don't necessarily take boycotts in those same ways, but this for sure is my Bud Light.
This is your hill that you're dying on. Okay. I think this happened to me with digg.com.
Yep.
It was very similar to this. It was just a bunch of obscure stories that were funny or, political, whatever, just news, weird stuff that you wouldn't find on the normal CNN and Foxes and whatever. But they got bought out, or something changed, and they went mainstream, man. And I just thought, like, well, I don't like this anymore. There's not enough edge. It's very vanilla, very plain. So then I started going and exploring other places, and Reddit was a place that I landed on. And it wasn't an easy landing. This was something where I went to the website and I was like, what the hell is this? And why does everybody love it? It's gross. It's disgusting. How do people use this? And I think you actually told me about Apollo back in the day. You're like, this is what I use. And I looked at it. I'm like, it's $3. I'm not going to pay for an app to help me read an ugly ass website. But then I acquiesced. I came around, like many others did. Apparently not enough for the dude to keep it running, but it's a sad moment. As crazy as that sounds for a website, but it's just been like a big time suck at the end of the day. But it's been a place for enjoyment, a place for you and I to hang out and like start this show. So it's momentous in
I think
sad
the closest website to instill this feeling in me for very different reasons was Vine.
Oh yeah. But that was ripped away from us. That wasn't necessarily something that we decided to quit.
Exactly. And that's the thing. This is in a sense being ripped away from us as well. Do you want me to read this post from Am I the Asshole?
Sure.
So there's a post that was 2 days ago as we're recording this. It says, am I the asshole for blocking your go-to time killer from June 12th through the 14th? For those of you who have been following along, you know we have been watching the situation closely and engaging Reddit through any avenue available in the hopes to alleviate our concerns and see a potential path forward. One that recognizes that Reddit is ultimately a for-profit entity, but still has the community of users to serve. While we appreciate that some of you are disappointed we didn't jump on the bandwagon early, we have been careful to ensure we fully understand what we're protesting, to what extent Reddit plans to come to the table, and how they stack up to industry best practices around communication and community management. We do not begrudge Reddit's efforts to become profitable. Reddit employs thousands of people, and it requires consistent and predictable sources of revenue to address its operating costs to keep them employed. Paid APIs are standard in the industry. Concerns about control over NSFW content, ads, etc. are also standard in the industry. But at the same time, we do not begrudge any user who have been understandably upset by these changes. This article goes on, starting earlier this week, many subreddits have said we're either going to go dark completely, we're going to shut ourselves off, we're going to be unlisted. The apps or the subreddits are all over the place. Yeah. And you're going to see this where people's front page of the internet, the place where they got their news first. I'm sorry, but I would much rather go to the front page of Reddit to find out about an actor that I cared about passing away or a big new news story. I'd rather go there than ever go to Twitter. And every subreddit is echoing the call to say, we're not going to do that anymore.
Gondor is calling for aid, and these subreddits are answering. I think I read earlier there's a website actually dedicated to all of the subs that are going dark, and it was well over 160 was like the last check mark before it got the hug of death. So it starts the 12th through the 14th, and in theory could be over by the time the show goes up. Mm-hmm. But we're going to find that a significant amount most likely will also just be self-permabanned in protest. And I hope something changes because, man, it seems like a weird thing to protest, but at the end of the day, if you're a couple tech bros like us, this is a big deal.
Yep.
Speaking of big deals, arguably the number one soccer player in the world is coming to the United States.
Jamie Tart?
Jamie Tart!
Jamie Tart. Okay.
Do you know who Messi is?
I make a Messi.
Do you know his first name?
Lionel.
That's right. Lionel. Messi has been he's been playing soccer since he came out of the womb, and at a very high level.
He came out seeing balls, man. I don't know what was going on in that moment, but
start with him. He's been dribbling them the whole time. But he spurned a Saudi Arabian bid to get him into their league. Reported $1.6 billion he turned down.
Is that the largest athletic contract that we've ever seen?
Without doing any research, I'm going to say absolutely yes. And he's coming to a little town called Miami, Florida.
Will Smith's favorite.
Mm-hmm. They're not a great team, but he came up with some weird deal with Major League Soccer to have like part ownership in his merchandise sales, to have part ownership in TV revenue, part ownership possibly in the team when he retires. Who knows when that will be? But check this out. The day before this announcement happened, the game that he will supposedly start for the very first time, ticket costs to get into that game were $29.
Oh my God.
$29 is a great ticket to go see a professional sporting event.
Uh-huh.
An hour after the announcement was made, the minimum get-in was $455. And you're thinking, wow, that's pretty significant. But I could still probably squeeze it in. I could move some finances around. This is Messi. He's not just any soccer player. He's a generational talent. Well, as it turns out, a little bit later in the day, tickets were going for as little as $6,000 to get into this first game.
What?
That's more than Super Bowl prices. That's for one ticket.
Oh my God.
So, Willie, I bought us a couple, and we're going. But I had to sell my house. So, the show's got to end. Sorry.
Okay,
Sorry, find
good.
out this way. Yeah.
Now, I just want to point out a few things. One, this is a great business deal to try and get some interest in American football. So I can't say it that way. Soccer.
Nope. Yeah.
What? And you can't say American football because that's football.
That's regular football.
So you gotta say soccer.
You're talking about football.
Anyways,
you gotta say it with the accent.
As of before this deal, Wikipedia, a place of concrete answers for every chat AI app, has a list of largest sports contracts. And I just want to maybe go give you a few highlights. Is that all right? Okay. Give you a couple of highlights here.
I'm ready.
Your number 3 is an American football player who signed a 10-year contract averaging $2.5 million per game. The contract is for $500 million. Who is this 10-year contract for?
Does their first name begin with a C?
Nope.
Does their first name begin with an R?
Nope. They play for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, I'm thinking just soccer. Holy cow. Okay, yes. Is that Patty Mahomes?
Yes, sir,
Okay.
it is. Which is a ridiculous sum of money, but things get a little bit more off the rails here because our number 2 is from Al Nassr,
Oh, that would be
averaging
Ronaldo?
$7.2 million per game on a contract of $537 million.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yes, sir. And Lionel Messi had the previous highest contract
Wow.
for FC Barcelona at $674 million, which, by the way, he just finished his 4-year contract, I guess in 2021.
Wow.
He was averaging $4.4 million per game. But that's not the one that gets me. There is a contract where the contract value was $365 million. But I want you to think about something for a minute, Scott.
I'm thinking.
You play a lot of football and baseball games, right? You have to spread your body thin
Okay, yes.
for an entire season.
Like butter.
So what if I told you that this $365 million contract came with a per game value of $33.2 million?
Oh, because they got hurt?
It's a 5-year contract
Okay.
where every single match was $33.2 million.
Holy crap. You kind of gave a hint that it was somebody who played both football and baseball?
Nope.
No.
It is a match.
A single match?
In a ring.
Boxing?
Yup.
Money millionaire Floyd Mayweather?
Somebody I have never heard of. Canelo Alvarez.
Oh, Canelo Alvarez. Yes. He's really good. Viva Mexico.
Clearly, he's worth it.
Holy cow. Those boxing purses are enormous. That's a lot of money. And I feel wholly inadequate. Much like Xbox must have felt when getting compared to PlayStation in terms of console sales and video game releases. However, they decided to strike back today with a showcase/direct. Now, I am going to just give a little rundown of all the games that they announced. Something called Still Wakes the Deep, South of Midnight, Overwatch 2, Fable.
Specifically their first story mission, which they said they weren't going to do.
Like a Dragon, Clockwork Revolution, Persona, all of these, and maybe a little game you might have heard of called Cyberpunk 2077. Phantom Liberty, the sequel or DLC, depending on what you're looking
DLC,
at.
yep.
DLC, yeah. Hellblade 2, Flight Simulator 2024, something called Avowed, maybe the first ever Star Wars open world game. But none of these pale in comparison to what they want to do with Starfield, coming out later this year, slated for September. This is the game that is supposed to bring them into contention with Sony. A 45-minute gameplay trailer, Willie. 45 minutes of gameplay.
I don't throw this around a lot because I feel like the media does, and I hate it, but unprecedented.
I watched the whole thing.
You just don't do that.
I watched the whole thing. It is clean. It looks fun. The map is gigantic.
Can you? There's probably enough lurkers tuning in that are like, "What the f is Starfield, and why is this the penultimate game of this?"
You keep using that word. I don't think you know what that means.
Don't worry, it's fine. It's fine. We're fine, right?
We got called out.
What do you mean? You mean I got called out?
You got called out for using penultimate, and I got called out for not correcting you. So I'm just doing it for that one person. It doesn't mean the last. It means next to last.
Oh, second to last. Okay.
Yeah. It's okay. It's all right. Back to Starfield. Made by...
I'm uncomfortable.
We're just airing out all the dirty laundry here on the first show. It's made by Bethesda, who has made games like Skyrim. That's all I really need to say. If you know, if you know, you know. But it's the first Bethesda game since Fallout 76, which was not well received.
No.
Apparently, it's a good game to play these days, however. But Willie, when you watch this, and I don't know if you're going to insert a little clip for the video watchers, lurkers, this is a game that appears worthy of taking a day off of work for, just to immerse yourself in. Because you're going to need time. If anybody who's played Bethesda game, you spend maybe like 30 minutes just creating your character.
Seriously, yeah. Can I give a few other examples of games that they've made, just so that
sure,
everybody's on the same page.
Sure.
So, obviously the Elder Scrolls games. We're talking games like Pirates of the Caribbean. When they came out with games, they made those.
Interesting.
Fallout, Dishonored.
Oh yeah.
Doom, Wolfenstein, Deathloop, Ghostwire
titles.
Tokyo. These are games that like people are pumped about, played the crap out of. And when we saw this trailer, I think we published maybe 2 years ago now. Like early on in the show, there was a teaser that was posted for this, and we were thrilled. And I don't know if I was expecting it to come out so soon, but this is one of those open world type experiences where I feel like people are going to invest some time in this thing.
There was a coworker of mine who was standing nearby while this was going on. His quote, and I swear, this is his exact wording. "Oh, I'm going to get lost in that game. Like, I think I'm going in and I'm not coming out for a while." These are the types of games that Bethesda makes, the ones that not necessarily need, but require 100 hours of your investment
to get started.
The amount of planets that you're going to be able to explore and places you can land, and the amount of hidden caves and derelict ships that you can go. The coolest thing from the whole thing is you can fight people in space in your ship. You can shoot them, you can blow them up, or you can specifically target their engine systems and then board them and take out the individual players on that ship.
What?
Yeah.
No, hold on. Are these real people? Like, am I like just like I'm playing Sea of Thieves? Like, am I gonna be playing PvP?
I don't know if it's PvP. I don't think it's PvP.
Okay.
They haven't said anything about multiplayer.
Okay.
But everything is going to be generated by the game. As you approach a planet, the game builds your experience right before you land. So if I say, "Oh, I'm going to Planet Alpha to do XYZ mission," you will go to do that, but your experience might be different. Like, things will be in different locations. You'll have different types of hidden items, different type of loot. Like, it's all going to be a unique experience for the person that is playing. I'm so excited.
I love one of the call out moments where they said you could be playing the game and you could look up into the sky and you could watch as a moon begins to orbit the planet that you're on, and you can see as it comes into view over one of the horizons and sets over the other horizon. And then guess what? You can get in your ship and you can go there.
You can go to that moon. And
that's so cool.
And as the planets are passing the sun in the solar system that you're in, all of the light changes exactly the way it would. Like, they went out and they did the science. It's just going to be a big nerd fest, and I am 100% here for it.
100%.
Well, that's our show, lovely lurkers. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Please rate and review wherever you lurk.
We appreciate the love, so let's remember to be kind to each other, and we'll see you on Saturday.